Ladies and gentlemen, each day we are given a fresh opportunity. We wake up to the sound of our alarms, or maybe we rise without them, feeling the soft light filtering through the window. But no matter how we start our mornings, there's something that can transform the trajectory of the day ahead. That thing is simple: listening. And I'm not talking about hearing the sound of the world around us. I'm talking about listening with intention, listening with presence, listening as a way to connect with ourselves, others, and the world. We all know the importance of the first steps we take after we wake up, but how often do we truly listen to what's around us in those quiet moments before the noise of the world consumes us? This isn't just about hearing sounds. It's about tuning in, being present, and recognizing the power of the first thoughts, words, and sounds that shape your day. If we listen every morning with intention, we can set a tone for ourselves, a rhythm that carries us through the hours ahead, full of clarity and purpose. The act of listening transforms us, and if we allow it, it can transform our world. The true magic in the morning happens in the moments before the rush begins. And that's why the practice of listening is so crucial. It's the difference between merely existing and fully experiencing. It's about realizing that the simple act of listening to the quiet of the morning, to our own thoughts, and to the voices of others can unlock the energy and clarity we need to navigate the challenges that lie ahead. What we listen to in the morning sets the tone for everything that follows. It is not just about the sounds we hear, but about how we interpret them, how we allow them to shape our inner landscape. This morning ritual, when practiced consciously, can be the difference between a day that feels chaotic and one that feels grounded. So let us take a moment right now to reflect on how we can make listening our priority each and every morning. The early hours of the day hold something profound, a quiet stillness before the world begins to demand our attention. It's easy to overlook, to let the rush of the world invade the calm that could be ours. But in those moments of silence, before the phone calls, emails, and distractions begin, there is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to listen, not to the noise, but to the silence itself. Silence has a way of clearing the clutter in our minds, offering space for new thoughts, for creativity, and for clarity. Listening to silence might seem odd at first. After all, how do we listen to something that isn't making any sound? But this is exactly the point. In the stillness, there is room for our internal dialogue to emerge, for our thoughts to settle, and for us to be present with ourselves. There's power in quiet. It allows us to hear what's beneath the surface of our minds. What have we been avoiding? What have we been ignoring? What is our heart truly telling us? When we listen to the silence, we begin to understand our true needs and desires. It's easy to feel that we must rush into the day with urgency, but the mornings don't have to be filled with frantic energy. They can be filled with peace. When we give ourselves permission to sit in silence, we create a space for reflection and clarity. We open the door for wisdom to enter. It's in these quiet moments that we can hear the deeper layers of our being. If we truly listen to the silence, we start the day centered, grounded, and ready to take on whatever may come. By making silence a part of our morning routine, we give ourselves the opportunity to reset our minds and recalibrate our emotional state. It's like cleaning the lens through which we see the world. When we embrace the quiet, we clear away the noise and confusion that might have built up overnight. Our minds become sharper, our thoughts clearer, and our hearts more attuned to what truly matters. There is also a deep spiritual aspect to listening to silence. In many traditions, silence is not just the absence of sound. It is the presence of the divine, the space where we can connect with something greater than ourselves. When we choose to listen to silence in the morning, we may find ourselves more attuned to the subtle signs around us, more aware of the world's beauty, and more capable of finding peace amidst the chaos. Silence is not empty, it is full of potential. As we listen to the quiet in the mornings, we begin to understand the importance of stillness in our lives. We realize that rushing through the day without pause only leads to exhaustion, confusion, and dissatisfaction. The act of listening to silence reminds us that there is wisdom in taking a step back, in slowing down, and in allowing the morning to unfold at its own pace. This simple act of listening transforms our experience of the world. And so the first step in listening every morning is to honor the silence. Give yourself permission to experience the stillness before the world rushes in. Allow yourself to listen, not with the mind's constant chatter, but with an open heart, ready to receive whatever the quiet has to offer. The breath is something that we all share. It is the rhythm that sustains us, the constant pulse that connects us to life itself. Yet, we often forget the importance of our breath. In the morning when we first wake, the breath offers us a powerful reminder of our existence. By taking a moment to listen to our breath, we become more aware of ourselves and the present moment. The act of breathing becomes a form of listening, a way of tuning into our own vitality. In the quiet of the morning, if we focus on our breath, we can become attuned to how our body feels. Are we tense? Are we calm? Is there tightness in our chest or a sense of relaxation? Our breath is always a reflection of our state of being. By listening to it, we gain insight into our emotional landscape and physical condition. It's a form of self-awareness that can guide our day, informing us about how we're carrying ourselves and what we need. Breathing is also a natural form of meditation. If we let ourselves breathe deeply and slowly, it allows us to center our minds, calming the storm of thoughts that may have accumulated. With each breath, we release tension and invite peace. It is in these moments of mindful breathing that we can ground ourselves and become more present. Rather than rushing into the day with anxiety or anticipation, we breathe, listen, and settle into the flow of the moment. The breath also has a way of connecting us to our emotions. If we are feeling overwhelmed or anxious, our breath might become shallow or erratic. If we are calm, our breath will be deep and steady. By listening to our breath, we become more in tune with our emotional state, giving us the opportunity to respond with intention rather than react out of habit. We can choose to breathe deeply, slow down, and create space between our feelings and our actions. Sometimes, our breath can even reveal deeper truths. In those moments of stillness, when we listen closely, we might notice patterns that reveal our fears, desires, or hopes. The act of listening to our breath can become a form of self-deglone, a way of checking in with ourselves before the world has its say. It's a reminder that our bodies are always speaking to us, always offering insights if we're willing to listen. Incorporating mindful breathing into our morning routine can set a powerful tone for the day. It's a practice that encourages presence, self-awareness, and calm. As we breathe in and out, we let go of the noise of the past and the worries of the future. We are here in this moment, connected to our bodies, our breath, and the world around us. When we listen to our breath in the morning, we give ourselves the opportunity to start fresh. We clear our minds, calm our spirits, and prepare ourselves to engage with the world from a place of peace and strength. The breath, in its simplicity, holds the key to so much wisdom if we are only willing to listen. There's something almost sacred about the sounds of nature in the early morning, whether it's the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, or the gentle breeze moving through the trees. Nature has a way of speaking to us in a language that transcends words. Listening to these sounds in the morning can have a profound impact on our state of mind. It's a way of reconnecting with the natural world, grounding ourselves in something larger than our daily routines. The morning sounds of nature offer a reminder of the cycles of life that continue regardless of what happens in our human world. While we may be consumed with work, stress, or personal struggles, the birds continue to sing, the trees continue to sway, and the earth continues to turn. These sounds are a reflection of the larger rhythm of life. By listening to them, we are reminded that there is something beyond our immediate concerns, something constant and enduring. Moreover, the sounds of nature offer us a sense of peace. In the quiet of the morning, when the world is still waking up, the sounds of birds and wind bring a sense of tranquility that can calm our racing thoughts. It's as if nature itself is inviting us to slow down, to listen, and to be present with the world around us. The more we listen, the more we begin to tune in to the natural beauty that surrounds us, and the more we realize that it is always available to us, no matter where we are. Listening to nature also brings us closer to a sense of interconnectedness. We are not isolated beings. We are part of a larger ecosystem, one that has been here long before us and will continue long after we are gone. The sounds of nature are a reminder of this profound connection. When we listen to the world around us in the morning, we are reminded of our place in the grand scheme of things, and it can bring us a sense of humility and peace. The sounds of nature also offer a form of grounding. When we are overwhelmed by the noise of our thoughts or the busyness of life, tuning into these simple sounds of nature can help us regain our equilibrium. Whether it's the rustle of leaves, the hum of insects, or the distant sound of running water, these natural sounds help to center us, bringing us back to a place of calm and balance. By taking the time to listen to nature each morning, we are practicing mindfulness. We are allowing ourselves to step out of chaos of our minds and into the serenity of the world around us. These sounds are a gift, offering us peace and clarity if we choose to listen. Nature's sounds remind us that life is always in motion, always evolving. Listening to these sounds in the morning can help us align ourselves with that natural flow. When we listen, we are reminded of the beauty and resilience of the world, and in turn, we can carry that sense of strength and serenity into the day ahead. In the morning, our interactions with others can be a powerful form of listening, whether it's a conversation with a loved one, a brief chat with a colleague, or simply hearing the voices of people around us. These sounds carry meaning. Listening to others in the morning allows us to connect on a deeper level, to share our energy, and to acknowledge the shared humanity that binds us all. The morning is a time when we are often most vulnerable. We have just woken from sleep, and we may still be adjusting to the world around us. In these moments, the words of others can have a powerful impact. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or even a shared silence can make all the difference. By listening with care and attention, we show respect for others and their experiences. It's an act of empathy, a way of saying, I see you, I hear you, I am here with you. The act of listening to others in the morning can also serve as a grounding force. It reminds us that we are not alone in our experiences. The struggles, joys, hopes, and fears of others are not so different from our own. In listening, we create a shared space of understanding where we are all able to be present with each other. It's an opportunity to offer support, encouragement, or simply a listening ear. When we listen to others in the morning, we also become more mindful of how our words impact those around us. The way we speak, the energy we offer, can shape the day of those we interact with. By choosing to listen first, we create space for others to share, to express themselves, and to feel heard. This simple act of listening fosters connection and deepens our relationships. Listening to the voices of others in the morning can also offer us insights into our own thoughts and feelings. Sometimes the words of others mirror what we are experiencing or provide a new perspective on a challenge we may be facing. In these moments, the act of listening becomes a form of self-reflection. By truly hearing what others have to say, we gain greater clarity about our own beliefs, desires, and goals. In a world that often encourages us to talk, to assert ourselves, and to project our voices, listening becomes a revolutionary act. It's a way of saying, I am here not just to be heard, but to hear as well. Listening is not passive, it is an active form of engagement that strengthens relationships and fosters understanding. When we listen to others in the morning, we are laying the foundation for a day of connection, empathy, and mutual respect. So, as you begin each day, remember the importance of listening to the voices around you. Each interaction is an opportunity to connect, to understand, and to grow together. The simple act of listening can transform your relationships and enrich your experience of the world. Our thoughts are the silent backdrop to everything we experience. They are always there, running through our minds, shaping our perceptions and guiding our actions. But in the rush of the morning, how often do we stop to listen to these thoughts? The quiet of the early hours provides a rare opportunity to become aware of what is happening inside our minds, to tune in to the thoughts that are shaping our reality. The morning is the perfect time to listen to your thoughts before the day's distractions take over. When we wake up, our minds are often still in that liminal space between sleep and wakefulness. This is a time when our subconscious thoughts and feelings can rise to the surface, giving us a glimpse into our inner world. By listening to our thoughts in the morning, we can become more aware of the patterns and beliefs that govern our lives. Listening to our thoughts in the morning can also offer insight into our emotional state. Are we waking up feeling anxious, calm, excited, or unsettled? What are the first things that come to mind when we open our eyes? These initial thoughts can give us clues about what we are carrying with us from the night before and what we may need to address in order to start the day with clarity. By listening closely to our thoughts, we also become more aware of the stories we are telling ourselves. What narratives are we holding on to? What limiting beliefs are influencing our actions? Are we telling ourselves that we're not good enough, or are we affirming our strength and capability? The morning provides a rare chance to examine these mental patterns before they dictate our day. Listening to our thoughts in the morning is an act of self-awareness. It's about becoming conscious of the internal dialogue that shapes our perception of the world. By paying attention to our thoughts, we can begin to challenge those that no longer serve us and replace them with ones that empower us. The morning is a time to reset, to choose new thoughts that align with our goals and values. If we take the time to listen to our thoughts, we can also identify areas where we might need to grow or heal. Are there unresolved issues lingering in our minds? Are there fears that we need to confront? By acknowledging these thoughts, we can begin to address them before they take root and influence our actions throughout the day. The morning is a time to listen to our thoughts with compassion and curiosity. Rather than judging ourselves for what arises, we can approach our thoughts with openness and understanding. By doing so, we create a sense of inner peace and clarity, allowing us to move through the day with greater intention and purpose. Listening to our thoughts is a powerful tool for personal growth. It allows us to become the creators of our own narrative rather than passive participants in a story that we didn't choose. By starting each day with an awareness of our thoughts, we take control of our mental landscape, shaping the world we live in from the inside out. In the quiet moments of the morning, before the noise of the day begins, we have a precious opportunity to listen to the silence, to our breath, to nature, to the voices of others, and to the thoughts within ourselves. These acts of listening shape the energy we bring into the world and the way we engage with others. By making listening a part of our daily routine, we invite presence, clarity, and connection into our lives. Listening in its many forms is an act of mindfulness and awareness. It is a practice that deepens our connection to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. And so, as you move through your days, remember that the morning is a sacred time. It is a time to listen with intention, with presence, and with an open heart. Through listening, we learn, we grow, and we become more attuned to the beauty and complexity of life. And in that, we find the peace and strength to face whatever comes our way.